I count slowly, slowly, slowly getting faster. Once I start counting, it's very hard to stop. Hey, faster, faster, it is so exciting. I could count forever, count until I drop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. I love counting whatever the amount. 1, 2, 3, 4, hey, 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 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, that's it.
Well, good morning, Possums. Another week is in the books. The commissioner is just now getting over his hangover. I'd like to give a big fuck you to everybody that encouraged me. In any case, a good week for several of us, a challenging week for several of us. At the moment, Mr. Bissell remains the only league owner that is undefeated. So I guess second verse, same as the first. A shout out to Aaron, who got beat by Bob this week in an interdivision play, but still an excellent start to the season. The beloved commissioner was the recipient of Dustin's ire from last week. In any case, right now, Bob and Aaron sit atop the spades. Eminem and Sean sit atop the diamonds. Into the secondary pool updates. Most total points. Eminem is still leading for the third week in a row with 436 points. The Dustin is trailing the furthest at 148. Mr. Bissell is the closest in overtaking with a negative 18 behind them. And bring out your best. Everybody is still getting up to try to put it on Eminem, though they are being unsuccessful. Barry had the most points scored against him this week. But as mentioned, Eminem still leads at 420 against. Well, I say that. Let me back up. Barry leads with 439 against. So I will make that adjustment. In the highest single weekly score, we did not have a new high water mark this week. Bob's second week score of 169 still leads. Again, our high water mark last year was Sean in week 8 for 184. Worst first round pick. I think Barry's going to be a lock as Mr. Bell continues to set out, although they are talking trade now. If he goes to the right spot, he could still certainly overcome. Mr. Gurley is still the best overall pick between, well, him and Kamara are both at 25 and 26. Good showings again for both of those players. For the squeaker this week, we didn't have any matchups that had a differential less than 5 points, so that is still open. Last man standing early, Mr. Irby had the low score of the remaining pool this week, so he is now eliminated. Moving on is Bissell, Bob and Mac, Brett, me, Eminem, and Sean. Last man standing late still starts week 7. Most valuable player. Kickers were on cue this week. Brett's kicker showed out with 15 points. Currently, Bob and Max still lead the overall pool. They are just about to break even. Next week, it is your flex player. make sure you understand the subtleties of what that means and put your best applicable player in your flex slot. Full participation. The closest this week was Eminem, whose low roster score was 5.5. We will move on to week 4, where there is still an 8-point differential required, or an 8-point contribution by all your active players in order to claim the prize. Big streak. So Barry, Bob, and Cardinal Bob and Mac were the teams remaining. They all picked the Vikings, and Vikings were overset, as we all know. Using my wide sweeping powers as commissioner, I am going to declare that those 3 teams are still in the pick streak. They will proceed, and y'all owe me your picks for next week before the kickoff of the next game. We will look at potentially putting that out for a vote in the survey for next year. I am thinking that if this occurs again before week 5, we will probably just put everybody else back in. But we will not do that this year. So Barry, Bob, and Mac will continue with their picks for next week. Crushing the competition was awarded last week to Sean, and there was no movement of the Barry prize. So at this point, we have only had one prize awarded. That would be Sean for $75 for Crush the competition. I hope to get out Sunday. We have a trip. Me and the girls are going to Nashville Saturday. They've got tickets to a concert, but I'm assuming there will not be anything that precludes us from doing our normal Sunday activities. Until then, remember your waivers. Roll Tide.